Hello. Welcome, everyone. Back to another, it's Wednesday. Welcome, it's Wednesday. We got that chat. You got that chat right here. Look at this. Everyone's here. You got the windows right there. Alright, okay. There we go. Welcome, Stream Elements. Welcome, Mooney. Yo, we got the fish. Welcome, Shiba Panic, Defins, Chocojacks. It's everyone. Everyone, welcome. Hope everyone has/had a great day. Also true. Hopefully you guys had a good Wednesday. Hopefully your Thursday is going well if you're on Thursday. If you're in a time zone where it's Thursday. Yeah, we're back here on the lake as usual. Just a typical Wednesday. We're gonna be fishing. You already know the drill. Here, I'm even gonna start off immediately with fishing. You know, typically I say things and then I say, then I'm gonna remember to fish. I'm gonna fish immediately. I'm gonna cast that rod right out there. Here we are. Okay, well. Played Magic. Classic game. Gathered many magics. Took a nap. I don't remember even the last time I took a nap. Anyone else take a nap recently? I feel like naps are too powerful. But what have I eaten? I already forgot. I think I had noodles. Some kind of noodle dish. Wait, what the heck is this? Is this a new feature? Returning chatter? I haven't seen this before. There's like a new marker. Also, welcome Vera. It's a new feature. It's been a thing for a while. I think I checked. I tried to enable. I was checking the new settings. There's all this stuff. You could set suspicious users, first time chat, returning chatter. What is a returning chatter? This is a new viewers who have chatted at least twice in the last 30 days. Welcome them back to the stream to make them feel like regulars. Well, welcome back, I guess. Also, we have a raider thing. I guess if someone raids you, you can check. It'll list them as a raider. Got mentions, you got VIP. It's a new feature. Also, welcome Grinber. You're a Sassy Baka. Do I count as a suspicious user? Unfortunately not. Not yet, anyway. Also, welcome Jose. Anyway, okay. Yeah, what did I eat? I think I had noodles. Had some food. Classic food. Everyone loves food. Oh, sorry, we got a fish. So you know it's fishing time. It's Wednesday. I'm gonna scroll down once I catch this fish. But yeah, not too eventful. I do have stuff. I did order stuff online. I was talking about 2 days ago. I was talking about how there was this Pixel 7 deal where if you buy a Pixel 7 and you're on Google Fi, they basically pay back the price of the phone. And I was like, maybe I should get it. It's basically a free phone for me. So I ended up ordering it. But then one thing I forgot is that typically when I order a phone, I like to also buy a screen protector and also a phone case. Because I feel uneasy having the phone just by itself. So I also had to buy those. And it's surprisingly expensive. I guess a phone case for a recent phone ends up being $15. And in my opinion, I'm just that's so expensive. $15 for a piece of plastic? It's too much. And then the screen protector. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going on. We're talking about nap, right? We were talking about naps. That's okay. Yes, I don't nap pretty often. Hit that new feature. Got into an A/B test. not suspicious. I feel like I should turn off this returning chatter thing. It's a bit distracting. Hold on, I'm gonna turn that off. Turn that off. I don't need to see that. I know enough. I can remember who's been here. Decided to use my phone. Also, welcome Zoe. Decided to use my phone without screen protector for once. It got micro scratches all over. I feel like whenever I use a phone without a screen protector, it feels so like vulnerable. Like I feel like if I ever like use one, it feels like it's gonna break. Like it's so fragile. Even though it's probably not true. Like phone screens nowadays are probably good enough where I could get by without one. But it just feels weird. I would not enjoy it. I bought a super expensive case for mine because I kept dropping it. Yeah, I've dropped my phone a few times, but I've always had a screen protector, so it's always been good. It's always been good condition. There's no issue with colors. Without a case, it's impossible. Yeah. I don't know. I seen some people, like a lot of people that I've seen when I used to work in an office. A lot of people just have a phone without a case, and I just feel very unsafe about that. A lot of times they end up dropping it too. like half the iPhone users I've seen who don't have a case, they always end up like I always see their screens and they're always cracked. And I'm just like, why don't you like get like a phone case or like a screen protector? And they're just like, well, I don't know, it's covered by warranty. I'll just get a new one. And like, you have that kind of money. You don't even care that it has a bunch of cracks on. Yeah, case is a must. Gotta have it. Let's see, was about to do that Pixel 5 deal, but decided that I don't want to be stuck with 5 for 2 years. Yeah, for me it was fine because I've been on Google Fi for like 7 years now. I was using it since before it was even called Google Fi. They call it like Project Fi. Back when it was a project, I was using it. It was pretty nice. It works internationally as well. So every time I go to Japan, my friends that are on other phone plans, they're just like, oh man, I gotta buy like a pocket Wi-Fi. I gotta like buy a different thing just to use data in Japan. And then me, when I'm on Google Fi, as soon as I arrive in Japan, I'm just like, I already have data. It's pretty nice. Also, it depends on the plan you have, I guess. Like back then, I don't think they had an unlimited plan when I first signed up, but they have one now. And I think their unlimited plan doesn't cover international data, but the pay-as-you-go plan does, and that's the one I have, and it works pretty well. It is pretty useful. I'd say, did I have to be careful if you're over 60 long? What is that? 60 gigabytes? I don't use that much data, to be honest. Like, I feel like the max that I've used in a month is probably like 10 gigabytes, even when I was traveling. Like, I would never watch videos on data. I would never, like, browse a lot of images. So it's been fine. The rates are the same though. If you're in Japan or in the US, it costs the same. So I've had no issues with it. Also, welcome Slime Molder. If you're not back in the US, sorry for voice to text. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you. Oh, I see. This guy's out here speaking to his phone. I've never actually used voice to text on my phone. I'm gonna assume it probably doesn't work that well. Hey, what happened to that fish? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna throw it back. See, if you're not back in the US, you have to be careful if you're over. If you're back in the, apparently they can disconnect you or make you pay higher rates. Yeah, I think the rates are the same. At least the last I checked. have 200 megabytes a month for free. I feel like, okay, so the fact that I don't go outside anymore, I basically use 0 gigs a month, but I'm still paying for it. But even when I used to go outside, I feel like I used to use in a month, maybe about that much. Maybe the most is probably like 500 megabytes. I have 105 gigs per month and I use 10. See, I can't even imagine myself using 10 gigs. That's like so much data to me. It's the worst on iPhone. Oh yeah, the thing is like, Google Fi doesn't work as well on iPhones. But I think it's gotten better. I think in the most recent iPhone update, they've enabled like 5G for Google Fi, and I tried doing it. I've not tested it because I feel like honestly 4G LTE is like good enough for me. I watch streams on YouTube on the phone when in the bus. I've never done that. I guess it could be useful. But it's like whenever I'm traveling, I never have the desire to watch videos or streams. But then again, I guess the thing is like, it was before I got into watching VTubers. So like, I guess maybe now, if someone was streaming something and I felt like watching, you know, maybe I'd be more inclined to. But back then, I would hardly ever watch streamers or VTubers. Even when I was watching Northernlion, I would still wait for to get home before I watch his streams. Also, welcome Devil Not Found. Good morning. Also, welcome Tag Barrel. And way too much. The few times I've ever been in the middle of nowhere, losing internet access made me mad enough to pay up. I guess I've never had that issue. Maybe I'm fortunate. Yeah, I'm doing fishing. I do fishing every Wednesday. It's basically just a chatting stream, occasionally interrupted by fish. Ooh. Too zen. I don't know, it's fine. It's fine. I don't really need internet most of the time. Heard that Fi on iPhone works? Yeah, it's been working fine. The few times I've gone outside since having an iPhone, I've had no real issues. Some people, like, I don't really notice a difference between 4G LTE and 5G. Because I guess because I'm never streaming stuff. It's just never been a problem. The speed has been fine. I've never been really throttled. And a lot of times I just have Wi-Fi in places that I'm going to. Especially like on trains nowadays. In New York, there used to be a time when you would not get signal underground when you're on the subway, but now it's like, it's been a lot better. I don't know, it's perfectly okay. 4G is good enough. I dislike using Wi-Fi. Really, you would rather use your data than use Wi-Fi? I guess it depends on how reliable it is. Like a lot of the public Wi-Fi, sometimes it could be a bit spotty. Sometimes they have like the captive portals. You gotta like sign up for something, watch an ad. But I always prefer using those because it's free, basically. They're probably also stealing all your data. That's why if you have a VPN, that's good. Got some fish. Also, welcome Denchi. Hold on. So it says I watch in the hotel when I wind down and restore energy. Yeah, but like the hotel has Wi-Fi though, right? You prefer using your data in the hotel versus the hotel Wi-Fi? Let's see, Slime Molder says not even your Oshi. Yeah, I would not even watch Northernlion streams when I'm on the subway. But Northernlion used to stream at a different time. I feel like back when I was in the office and I had to take the subway, he would start his streams pretty late compared to now. It's like, I think when I got home is when he would start his stream. And there have been some times when like my train would be delayed, and I'd be like, oh man, I'm missing the start of the Northern Line stream. But it hasn't really been an issue. Xavier says, I use so many gigs just on my commutes and travels. I have to listen to music or videos. I feel like a lot of the music would be like stored locally, right? I don't know, I guess it depends. I never really listen to music when I'm traveling. See, Zoli said I have a lot of data, public Wi-Fi. It's sussy. I guess if you're paying for like unlimited or like a large amount of data, I guess it's fine. There have been some times when like the Wi-Fi in my home would drop out, and I know some people, when that happens to them, they tether their laptop to their phone connection. And personally, I'm just like, well, I don't have unlimited data, so there's no way I'm doing that, because it's gonna download like so much. It's gonna use so much of my data. So I simply I'll just be like, hey, my internet's not working. Cannot attend this Zoom call for now. And no one questions it. Everyone's fine with it. Fish are scary. Are fish scary? I think fish are scary. Say, Denji said any bites? Yeah, I caught like 3. Actually, I caught 4 fish. One of them was the small one that I released. All of the other ones are these 3. I don't know if it's just my internet cutting in now. Let me check. I have not dropped any frames. So it's either you or it's on Twitch. Let's see, data is probably preferable to public Wi-Fi. I guess in terms of like monitor, if they're monitoring you, public Wi-Fi is probably analyzing all of your DNS requests. They're seeing where your data is being sent to. If I were to go outside, if I was still not indoors all the time, I'd probably use a VPN if I'm in public. That's just me though. They often have data caps too. Public Wi-Fi? I guess, yeah, it depends on like who's using it. There has been a time, like, remember, like, I used to go to this karaoke place pretty often. There was one time when I decided to stream on the voice call, or stream to Discord the karaoke for some friends to listen to. And I noticed when I was doing that, I feel like I saturated the Wi-Fi network, and so everyone else who was trying to connect, their connection was really slow, but I was having no issues. And I'm just like, well, I mean, the people have to hear me, okay? They have to hear our room singing karaoke out. And so I ruined the experience for everyone. But hey, the people in Japan that were listening, they were pogging. They're like, whoa, they know these songs? That's cool. Also, welcome Hamflo. I am fishing. I'm out here fishing for real. Yeah, eating the bandwidth. I see Devin said, had tons of internet issues some time ago. Found out that cap phone data is enough to play RuneScape. Yeah, I would imagine RuneScape doesn't use that much data. I would assume so. Back in the day, it was designed for the dial-up days. Back when data was expensive. Makes you think how crazy it is some web pages time out on slow data. Yeah, I think a lot of people, especially web development nowadays, they include so much stuff. There's like so much JavaScript in a single web page. And a lot of people are testing, like, a lot of developers, they're testing with like a pretty good internet connection. And they never consider the people that don't have good Wi-Fi. There are actually simulators for that. If you go into your development console in Chrome or like Firefox, you can set it to emulate a slow connection, and you can tell how much suffering it actually is to be on an unstable Wi-Fi. But most people don't do that. Most people write for the best case scenario. We're gonna throw away these small fish. Something band length. Yeah, the band. I'm pretty sure band length is a thing. It's the width of the band. It's the length of the band. What about the band height? Why did they ban the height? Was that green thing that was on the rod a worm? No, it was a small fish. Oh, you mean this thing? It's just a type of bait. I think it's supposed to look like a worm, but it's not really a worm. It is some kind of green thing. And so we get all three. We can get the band volume. It's like when they play the music too loud, and they tell the band, "Hey, can you lower the volume?" And they said, "Sure. Do you want us to decrease the bandwidth, the band length, or the band height?" Everyone else is like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Everyone gets confused. They don't even know. Like, turn that volume down. Can't. I don't even know which one. Yeah, exactly. Everyone understands. Is there love to be found on the peak of the hook? Is that a reference to a song? Is that a musical reference that I will never understand? Anyway, I like that it started raining immediately. It's the best type of fishing weather in this game. It's the most pleasant. We got the rain ASMR. We got the radio playing. We got the wild fishing motions. What the heck is this? You guys seeing this? We haven't seen this in a while. It is wild. Look at this. It's crazy. Oh, the worm. Would you watch this stream if I was a worm? Would your Oshi still be your Oshi if they were a worm? Oh, look at this. We got the small fish. Ooh. It's $3. He out here. Wait, what the? I feel like this is messed up. Something got messed up here. It was not supposed to be doing that. I feel like the last time that happened, I ended up catching 2 fish on the same hook. You would use your Oshi as bait? What? Wait, stop mother, who is your Oshi? Is it Chia? Is it Chia VTuber? Me, when I see chatters in other chats, I'm like, is this your Oshi? They would be. Yeah, what if your Oshi already is a worm? Anyone out here have a worm Oshi? And are there even worm VTubers? I feel like I've never seen one. You think at this point there's like a VTuber of everything? What about worms? Are there worm Oshis? You have a few Oshis. Are any of them worms? Use your Oshi to fish for more Oshis. Fishing for fans. Oh man, it really is raining hard, huh? That's great. I like this. This is good. It's great weather for fishing. Shoujo Fig as a lure. Are there fish that would go for that? I guess fish like anything that's like bright, right? You put something bright in the water, they all start swimming toward it. Right there, right there. Catching this fish. Got the trees. These trees are being well hydrated. Imagine being a tree by the lake. You would receive so much hydration. You know, as the water evaporates. As it rains, you would have so much water. It would be so cool. You're gonna Google it? Gonna Google what, your Oshi? Whether your Oshi is a worm? Whoop. I feel like maybe we're catching the same green worm. Or not worm, the same green fish over and over. Every time I throw it back, I end up just like catching the same one that I just threw back. It's gotta suck. If you were that fish, this would be suffering. It just doesn't learn. Google says just like real bugs, worms. Wait, what? What did you Google? This thing? I am it Oshi? I don't think so. You think fish have Oshis? You think there's like a fish out there watching VTubers? Like, you know how sometimes people will they'll have their computer screen or something playing, and their pet will look at the screen and they'll be like, yo, what is that? And then they stare at the screen. You think like there's a fish out there that has a favorite VTuber? Just like it watches its owner? Yeah, I was thinking about cats as well. A lot of people, sometimes when I check the Northernlion subreddit, sometimes people post photos of like their pet staring at the screen and Northernlion is streaming something. There's like a lizard, you know, like a lizard watching Northernlion on an iPad. Sometimes there's dogs, there's cats. There's gotta be a fish out there that has like a favorite VTuber. It's gotta be like a really bright colored one. Also, welcome Electro Retro. Chillin' on mobile, thanks for helping me sleep. No problem. The rain must be nice though, right? If you have directional audio, it's like you're actually here. You hear the rain, you can hear the lightning. Got that rain ASMR. Got the radio with the lo-fi playing. Oh man, here it is. But it's the same fish. It's the same fish over and over again. You know, there's like a cat out there. A cat with an Oshi. A dog with an Oshi. Every pet is gonna have a VTuber Oshi. It's almost like rain is real. It's true. Sometimes I look at rain and I think, wow, this is kind of cool. It's got moisture. It's got volume. It's moving. It's falling out of the sky. See, rain is a government conspiracy. I don't think it is. See, speaking of Northernlion, I'm going to... and I'm jumping a couple hoops. He talked about the Monster Hunter Niantic game. I was also watching that. He talked about that yesterday. That was how I learned it existed. I didn't know it was a thing until he talked about it on his stream yesterday. But I don't know. I would not play it. I never really got into Pokemon Go. But I could see people enjoying it. Don't really need an excuse to go out. I feel like those games are kind of like, it doesn't motivate me to go outside, but if I'm already outside, I'm just like, well, I might as well play this, right? It might make me walk like slightly farther than I normally would have. It's called Monster Hunter Now, I think. You got Pokemon Go, you got Monster Hunter Now, you got Pikmin Bloom. You have I used to play Minecraft Earth a bit. Minecraft Earth was their like Pokemon Go like thing, but for Minecraft. I thought it was pretty fun, but they closed it down. I guess it didn't go very well. I don't know, but I enjoyed it. I heard of it before the clip. I guess because I don't follow Monster Hunter news, that I had no idea it was a thing even. You should hunt Monster Hunter now. Classic guy. It's a thing though. I like the premise of going outside, but the gameplay was just not my thing. Which one? Pokemon Go or Monster Hunter one? I guess there was not really much information about the Monster Hunter one. It was announced, but they only showed like a short gameplay. We don't actually know what the gameplay is gonna be like. Pokemon Go, it felt a bit shallow to me. But I enjoyed when Pokemon Go first came out. You guys remember that? Literally, like, you were walking outside, everyone you saw on their phone, you assumed that they're playing Pokemon Go. And it was usually true. You would see so many people out there. In the before times when people would actually go outside. That was fun. Send help, please help me. I don't know what's happening. Hopefully you're doing well. My lights went off and then the Wi-Fi cut out. Oh, I think you were having some problems over there. I don't know that I can really help. If your Wi-Fi is cutting out, I don't know. You should call your internet company. Call your electricity company, maybe. You could go elsewhere. Monster Hunter later. On Exorcist. What emote is that? A ghost? That is indeed a ghost emoji. Let's see. Zoli said, went on a walk to de-stress, ended up going too far and struggled to get back despite GPS. Is this when you're playing Pokemon Go or just like just in general? You were just walking in a forest to de-stress, ended up going too far. You guys ever been lost in a forest? I'd be scared. Just in general, yesterday? There was like one notable time when I got lost. I think it was in middle school, and I went to a classmate's place to do a school project. And on the way back, after we left his house, I was just like going to my home by myself, and I didn't know. You know, it was like back in the day, before we had like phones. I didn't have like a map, and so I assumed I remembered how to get home. But I was just like, okay, I just have to find this subway station. But then I walked through Central Park, and it was really dark outside. It was like basically pitch black, and I forgot which way to go. And I'm just like, I don't know where I'm going. And eventually, I just walked in a random direction. Eventually, found a subway station. But in the long period of time, maybe like an hour, I was just like walking around aimlessly in Central Park, in like the foresty area even. And I was so confused. I was like, what if I die here? I could die. Like, I was in middle school. You know, middle schoolers, they imagine things. Like, what if I'm lost here forever? What if I die? But I did not die. In fact, I'm here right now. I'm right here. Also, welcome, Props Not Jack. See, walking and getting dinner is great for mental health. Probably. I've never heard anyone abbreviate dinner to din. You guys ever have din? The Obra Dinn, you guys know that video game? The Obra Dinn. It's the same fish. We're catching the same fish. Denny's? The restaurant known as Denny's? And Denise, perhaps? Din? Yeah, that's like a thing, but I've never heard just like din by itself. Doesn't din mean like noise? You call it tea? Do you actually? I don't believe that. If you call dinner tea, you do. Is that an abbreviation for something? Touch Ras good. Spooky, the fish are VTubers, are they? Do they call dinner tea in Ireland? Is that the location doxed, perhaps? Din's Inferno. There's tea. Yeah, that's what that's what I assume. When I think tea, I think of the drink known as tea. Or tea leaves. But I don't associate tea with dinner usually. Tea time. But I feel like tea time's usually like when I think of dinner, I think of like a substantial meal. Sometimes people call it supper as well. Although I feel like it's kind of like rare for people to say supper. But people do it sometimes. Every time I hear someone say supper, I'm like, what the heck? Who says supper? It's gotta be dinner. Supper, it's very old-fashioned. What's even sup with this? Supper, not much. What's supper with you? Haha. Am I right, gamers? It's not really funny. Mint tea. +2. I don't think that deserves a +2. Like a +1. Yeah, +1. +0.5 perhaps. Supper. Supper Mario broth. -2. What? No, that's too far. That's too far. Maybe like a +0. -0. -0.1. What's for supper? When was the last time you had supper? Have you ever had supper? Supper is like brunch. Is supper like between lunch and dinner? Like, what's really the difference? Is there even a difference? Playing Pokemon. Are you playing Pokemon Go? Are you Pokemon going to the polls? Out here thinking supper. Never even had supper. About brunch. What about brunch? And baklava? I feel like I've had that a few times. It's sweet, right? It's like a sweet savory snack. And by savory I just mean sweet. Also welcome Soli. Love brunch, American breakfast. Is that what brunch is? American breakfast. Brunch always sounds fancy. You know, when someone says I'm gonna go out for brunch, like it's gotta be like an expensive place. It's gotta be a pricey place. No one calls it brunch. If it's you know, it's just like breakfast or lunch. Like a late breakfast or an early lunch. But to specifically call it brunch, you're like, oh, this guy's fancy. Brunch implies eggs Benedict. Perhaps. I mean, Pokemon Unite. Didn't you say your electricity went out? Are you still able to unite the Pokemon even without electricity? I guess it's back. It's probably back. Considering you were watching this stream. It sure is. Oh yeah, mimosas. Yeah, that's a thing they have at brunch. It's gotta be. It's a fancy meal. Brinner. The difference between brunch and dinner, breakfast and dinner. Most people drink during brunch. I guess yeah, that is typically a thing now. Also, welcome nutritious. Is dim sum brunch? No, it's usually, I feel like they usually have dim sum around lunchtime. I don't know that it qualifies as a brunch. Is the whole point of brunch to drink before noon? It could be, depending on who you're asking. What if McDonald's had brunch? You know how like McDonald's, they have their breakfast menu, and then after a certain time it goes straight into lunch menu? What if they had a brunch menu? They could have like a unique thing one time. You know, dim sum around, wait, 9 to 10 a.m.? That is really early. Every time I've had dim sum, it would be like around like 11 a.m. or noon. Usually at the same time as lunch would be. Nighttime McGriddles? I don't even know what a McGriddle is. I haven't had McDonald's in so long. Brunch McMuffins. It's a pancake sandwich. Oh, so it's like instead of the bread, they have pancakes? They got like bacon, probably. Always gotta have bacon and eggs for breakfast. It's the classic breakfast menu. You're hitting the gritty, as Fortnite popularized the gritty. What if they had a sponsored one? The McGritty. They've probably thought of that. Some marketing genius out there. You know, the kids are loving the gritty in Fortnite. What if we collab with McDonald's? Get a McGritty. Whoops, I just accidentally toggled my headset. It went into pass-through mode. Go to bed but have one completely off-topic story to tell. Well, have a good night. And you're gonna post your story and then I'll read it. And then we'll talk about it. Then you're gonna be sleeping. Whoops. Do you like the egg and bacon muffins at breakfast? I feel like my favorite thing at McDonald's breakfast, usually hash browns. Hash browns pretty good. Like the potato, it's good. The Wolfie Wiggle. What? Let's see, sausage McGriddle with round egg instead of folded. I don't know, the round eggs always seem weird to me. The ones where they're like, they cook the egg to be basically like a perfect, like a disc shape. It always felt weird. It's gone too far. You can sell the McFish as a brand tie. Do they have a McFish? That's like the what is their fish sandwich called? The one that apparently a lot of Christians eat, because like on some day you're not supposed to eat meat, but fish doesn't count. So a lot of people just order the fish sandwich. Oh yeah, Filet-O-Fish, that's what it was. That's what it was. I like that they turned hash browns into a finger food. Did they? Did they do that? I guess yeah. Usually you eat it with like, they fold it up in the paper, right? You're just grabbing it. I like the crunchy texture. I mean, not crunchy, but it's like crispy. We got the crispy potato. Maybe a leftover egg McMuffin that someone didn't want to eat, but I'm never up early enough for a breakfast menu. That's also a thing. I feel like when I was a kid, you know, like we would go to McDonald's, and it would be slightly too early for us to order from the lunch menu. And so we were just sitting out there waiting for them to transition over. Be like, I want a burger. But they're like, no, it's still breakfast time. We gotta wait. Gotta wait for a while. You can hold it with one hand, also true. Normally hash browns must be eaten with a fork. Is that true? I feel like I've never really had like a hash brown that's large enough that I couldn't hold it. They're always pretty small, but maybe it's been popularized by McDonald's. Oh. Sees on nearby TV that Japan has / will have new yen banknotes. How soon is that? Maybe they'll have it the next time I go to Japan. Maybe I'll see the new banknote and be like, what the heck is this? Is this fake? Wolf's Cromch would be a neat emote. I feel like I like the emotes that some people have of like them like eating food. They're just like the mouth opening and closing really fast. But I don't have enough emote slots for that. Yeah, like that. Welcome Loki as well. I like those emotes. If you order them at a restaurant, they're spread out. Oh, the hash browns? I guess it depends. It depends on the place. Remember, let's see. Remember as a kid I had to wait for the lunch menu? Yeah. Every time you go to McDonald's early, you're like, oh man. It's too early. Oops. I got another fish. About to be a Shadowrun setting? What is that? I don't know what that is. I like seeing other countries' money. You guys ever seen Canadian money? Isn't Canadian money like they have everything color coded? I always thought that seemed cool. Like if you were just to look at American money, it's like everything's the same color. Everything's like green. Some people say Canadian money looks like Monopoly money, but I think it looks cool. They got the color, they got the different shapes. Oh no, they're the same shape, but they're different colors, and that's cool. I appreciate it. Also, welcome Admiral Kobayashi. Okay, let's see. Zoe said, 5 days ago my dad came over to help me with the table. Discovered a couple ants on the floor. What? Couldn't have brought them in. He probably brought them in. Discover it's been colonized. You should buy some ant bait. I don't know. Every time I feel like I also have ants in my house now. It's like every time it's summer, they always show up, and they always keep coming back. I've been using. There's ant bait that has borax in it. You guys know about borax? I think it's used in like detergent. But you mix that with something sweet, and then the ants start eating it, and then they eat the borax, and then they all start dying. There's some ant bait that does that, and it usually works pretty well. American money is boring. It is. It's like the same color. It's the same shape. We have some coins, but no one cares about the coins. Shadowrun is a tabletop RPG. Cyberpunk dystopia. Main currency everyone uses is new yen. Oh, it's like yen, but new. It's like yen, except it's new. Canada doesn't have money. Oh, they have money. It's cool. It looks like Monopoly money, but it's functional. Yet they planted cinnamon bark in various corners of the house. Cause all ants to go away. What causes them to go away? They just don't like the smell. I know, like ants. I think the way ants work is that once one ant finds its way to some food, they have like this like scent trail, and you gotta disrupt the scent trail. If you ever kill an ant, I guess the scent trail has like send out signals to the other ants, and they're all aware, and then they get all angry. They start moving around. Let's see, had to ask my friends whether ants can survive the washing machine. What? For a moment, my washing machine didn't stop despite saying 1 minute left for 3 minutes. Worried that my washing machine might have been bugged. You're telling me an ant could do that? An ant can destroy your washing machine? Does it actually though? Carp is a kind of fish. That is true. You can wash the scent trail with soap. Yeah, I remember doing that as well. Back when COVID was first a thing, and everyone had like hand sanitizer. I remember I had like this like lemon scented one. Well, you could just spray it, right? And I remember when I saw ants in my house, I would use the lemon scented spray and just spray over it, and they would not go back that way. Some ants actually just count their steps. Do they actually though? Do they do that? You can also make fake scent trails with a blue ink pen. Wait, really? Actually, I remember recently, I was recommended a video of someone who was like, he was drawing with a red marker or like a red pen or something, and this ladybug kept following it around. And I think they found out that that the material that the marker was made of was like, it resembled like aphid pheromones or something. And so the ladybug just followed it. It would just follow the trail. Let's see, hopefully it got rid of enough of them that this won't turn into a long-term problem using the slipper method. I feel like they usually come back. Like, the way to deal with ants a lot of the time is not to like kill the individual ants, but like the reason why the liquid ant bait usually works so well is because they'll end up eating it, but they'll bring it back to the colony, and then they'll feed it to the queen, and then the queen dies. So if you just kill the ones that you see, the other ones that are still in the nest, they'll come back. Oh, I guess if you got the slipper crushed the entire colony, perhaps. Also, welcome Cat Ubermona. Let's see, scientists put little stilts on some ants to make their legs longer, thus bigger. That's how ants in the Sahara work. Oh, so like even though they were going farther, they could still find their way back. Tuna piano, you can't tuna fish. Also true. It is extremely true. Yeah, debug. Out here being debugged. Female bees kick the male bees out of the hive. Do they actually though? Is that true? The rug went into the washing machine. I don't know, ants are really annoying. Every time you think you get rid of the ants, they always come back. There's always so many of them. Like around here, around my house, I feel like every summer we get ants. And like one day they'll just suddenly go away. Usually after it rains. I think like the ants are from outside. And when it rains, I guess maybe it washes the scent trail away. and they can't find their way back. Also, welcome Raptor 3D. Welcome. I think so. I heard it somewhere. Science. Science do be wild. You got the Lechonk emote. Anyway, it's been an hour. I'm gonna go hydrate. I'll be right back. You can see me drink water. Alright. I feel like I might have drank water too fast. And it might have gone through I can't even talk. Might have gone through the wrong pipe. But that's cool. Love when that happens. Love when I drink water the wrong way. What is that emote? What is this one? Riku roll. Let's see, I have a massive ant nest at home. Every time I walk past it, the ants make a run for it. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I think if you, they can, like, detect the vibration and stuff like that. I don't know, you should probably get that looked at. You should probably, Oh wait, okay, do you mean, like, one of those ants nests that you specifically have? Because I know some people, they have ant farms. It's like they have, like, a glass pane and you can see all the ants inside. That are out there digging. Captive ants. You have ants in captivity? Or do you mean like wild wild ants? Yeah, like a terrarium. That's what I meant. Those are usually called ant farms. Oh, you have wild ants in your home? I feel like you should probably I don't know, I'd be concerned. Pretty scared. You should get like ant baits. The brand that I've been using. This is not sponsored. It's called Terro, Terro. Outside. Well, you said at home, so I assume you meant like in your home. I would be concerned. But if it's like close enough to your home, I imagine they might find their way inside. It's always possible. They can always find their way in. Just make sure. Sometimes I find like ants. Like if we have ants in the kitchen, for example, sometimes I'll just go to the bathroom and I'll see an ant, like one ant, like on the sink, and I'll be like, "How the heck did you get all the way here?" This one ant went all the way from like the kitchen to the upstairs. It's wild. That's such a journey. It's kind of close to my home, but not quite. It's by a fence. Okay. I guess I was misled by the fact that you said at home. I guess you meant like near your home. That's slightly different. But anyway, we're talking about ants. Summer. Ants usually show up in the summer. I've heard stories about like some people, like some kids, they'll like leave like a drink like out somewhere, and then they'll come back to it and they'll find like the drink is now full of ants. That'd be very frightening. Like imagine you have like your juice box, you have like a straw, and then you start drinking and then suddenly like all the ants come out. That would be so scary. Saw a clip of NL posing as James Bond. I don't think I saw that. This guy's seeing more NL content than I'm seeing. I can't believe it. Spicy juice. You guys ever seen red ants? fire ants, as they call them. A friend of mine has a dead wasp or two in his boba. Wait, what? What the frick? How did that happen? Dead wasp or two? I feel like he would know, right? Or they, yeah, he would. I feel like if I had seen a wasp in my drink, I would know whether there was one or two. Okay, you meant he knows. I thought you meant he did not know whether it was one or two. I don't know, I would be afraid. I would be so afraid. I don't like the inch ants. Are there ants that are that big? I feel like if an ant is an inch long, is that still an ant? Aren't ants usually like really small? Oh, ants are wild. There's always so many of them. South America has some big ones. Oh wait, I think Devil Not Found said they were from Australia, right? Australia does have like a lot of huge animals. That's scary. Remember one time I was following someone from Australia and they posted like a picture of a spider they saw in their home and the spider was freaking huge. I'm just like, oh my god. In Australia you have to deal with this in Australia? It's because it's a Swedish drink. A Swedish drink, not a Swedish drink. There's a fruit tea. The wasps fly around it and land in the container. How about ants on a muffin? Do I want to watch this? Do I want to watch this video of an ant, of several ants on a muffin? Is this like one of those videos that's like a lot of a lot of ants consume a thing? What is this video? What is this video? This guy beatboxing? This guy is beatboxing? What is happening? That video from yeah, videos back then were built different. No one cared about making content as a living. They were just recording stuff for fun. Also, that's a lot of ants. That's a lot of ants. Oh my god. That is a lot. That's so many ants. What the frickin'? This guy bit into the ant muffin? They just had this like in their school. What is this? That's frickin'. That is messed up. I would not do that. I would not recommend biting into a muffin that has a bunch of ants crawling all over it. Definitely not a recommended solution. Also, what is this? Did I get some notifications? I have 2 notifications. You ever see a thing that says you have notifications and then you click it and it says you have no notifications? That just happened to me. Apparently this is a close friend of HC Justin. Wait, what? That guy? The guy who ate the ant? He's a friend, he's an acquaintance of the streamer known as HC Justin. HC Justin, the guy whose emotes I have now because I was gifted them during the subathon. Let's see, what are his emotes? What is an emote of his that I can use to prove that I have his emotes? This one. That's pretty cool. Also, welcome back. Yeah, something. Yeah, that's a good one. He's playing Mahjong? He's always playing Mahjong. Him and his group of friends always out there playing Mahjong. sicko. HCJ sickos. That's good. Good content. Also, welcome Robomoo. Let's see. Slime Molder says Australia is like a science experiment gone wrong. It's wild. It's wild over there. They got so much stuff. They got big spiders. They got kangaroos. Got wallabies. They got drop bears. We learned drop bears aren't real. But if they were, they would be there. They would definitely be there. Yeah, sickos. The Onion comic. It's that guy right there. They are real. No, Google, search drop bear on Google and then click the little tag. It'll jump scare you. We found out on my stream. It was there. And then it doxed my zip code. But we all know by now. We all know my zip code by now. Every time I use Google on this stream, it just shows it right there. Drop bears are koala. No, they're not real. Drop bears are not real. But if they were real, I think they're supposed to be like koalas that go feral. At least from what I've heard. See, I once saw someone upscale and clean the sickos meme on Twitter. AI upscaling technology. Still one of my favorite JPEGs. Let's take a look at this. They would upscale it and not save it as PNG. Why would you upscale something and save it as a JPEG? That just gets rid of a lot of the quality. The cleanest. Twitter compresses it? Okay. Wait, but that's on Discord. Someone downloaded an image from Twitter and then put it on Discord. Wait, that's a thing. That's a thing that happened. Also, this reminds me, seeing this, wasn't there was like a Nintendo like indie direct today? Was there anything good come out of that? Everyone was expecting some Silksong stuff, but there was no such thing. Oh, you download the image. She watched it. I tuned in to like 5 seconds of that, and then I decided, you know what? I'll just I could just watch it later because I was at work. I think I could get that Pikachu. Wait, what? Alright, good night, Zoli. Have a good sleep. Hope you have dreams that don't involve ants eating a muffin. Responsible wolf. Well, I mean, not really, because I had Northern Lion stream playing in the background. I was like, I already have a stream playing in the background. Sometimes, like, when I'm at work, I'll just see who's streaming on Twitch. And I'll be like, oh, this seems like it could be interesting. Too bad I'm already watching another streamer. Too bad I already have my Oshi's stream playing in the background. Northern Lion, he's there all the time. Can't always count on him. It's usually mine. Oh right, because you're West Coast. Yeah, it's only 3:16 p.m. over there. At 3:15. 3:15 p.m. The clock on this machine is faster. It's because I only turned it on like once a week. I think it doesn't sync the time all the time. There's some sort of clock drift. I don't know. It's cool though. It's cool to have time that works. Sometimes. Pretty often. I've caught a few fish today. Yeah, time. The vegetable known as time. That are herbs vegetables? I guess, right? Do they count as vegetables? I feel like they do. They probably do. Or are they a separate category? Maybe I should use some better bait today. I always, like, last time I tried using the salmon, like, none of the fish wanted it. Maybe I should use, like, some different ones. What if I use this one? Try catching some different fish today. I don't know, I personally think no. They are, they are, but it's not a serving of vegetables. Said different. It's true, I don't cook. The classic meme that says let him cook. But like, I don't even cook, so you can't even apply that meme to me. You could say let him cook, but I don't. But I don't even cook. Anyone out here, you guys cook? What's your favorite thing to cook? Wolfie cooking stream? No. I will never do like a hand cam stream. Cause there's like no space in my room. Let him microwave. I use the toaster oven. Toaster oven's pretty good. Doesn't have to be hand cam. Oh, you mean like cooking simulator? No. No. The curry's pretty good. Grab my mic into the kitchen? No, my mic does not. It cannot possibly leave my desk. The cord is not that long. It doesn't go that far. It is basically attached to my desk. I don't know. I would not do it. Mainly because, like, I don't know what I would do. What would I even cook? I don't know. What if you did a cooking stream? You could do a cooking stream. You could cook something. You could post a photo of it. Also, yeah, curry is always pretty nice. I enjoy curry. There's a lot of different types of curry, though. Like, do you mean like Japanese style curry? Indian curry? Other whatever other types of curry there are. Oh yeah, Thai curry. I don't know. Is Thai curry the one that has coconut in it? Like, usually it has coconut milk. I'm not a huge fan of coconut. I personally I like Indian curry. Tim Curry, the basketball player. I know that guy. Tim Curry. I've heard his name. That's Steph Curry. Wait, who's Tim Curry? Is that the football guy? No, Steph Curry is the basketball guy. Tim Curry. Who the heck is Tim Curry? Oh, he's an actor. Okay. I don't know. See, my go-to food is instant ramen with a heck load of veggies. Fancier stuff is various pancakes. Ooh, crepes are pretty good. Do you ever make savory crepes? It's always... people always make sweet crepes. Not sweet, I guess the crepes themselves aren't sweet. But they usually put sweet stuff on it. I prefer Thai curry. Least favorite is Japanese curry. I don't know, it's pretty good. Every type of curry usually pretty good. Like, even if I don't prefer the coconut in Thai curry, it's like I don't actively dislike it. It's just I would prefer it if it didn't have it. See, Thai curry is nice. I think I'm allergic to the concentrated amount of onion/garlic in Japanese curry. Is there a lot of onion in Japanese curry? I guess I haven't really noticed. Japanese curry, it is pretty good. I'd say I mostly only eat savory crepes. I don't know. I don't remember the last time I had a savory crepe. Ham and cheese crepes. Okay, you guys have, you guys eat more food variety than I do. I don't even remember the last time I had like a sweet crepe. It might even have been like when I was in Japan. Probably when I was at Fuji-Q Highland. They were doing like this collab with Aikatsu. And they had the Aikatsu style crepes. It's pretty good. It was pretty good. First one I made was ham and spinach in cheese bechamel sauce. I don't even know what that is. That sounds fancy. Bechamel. Bacamel. See, I don't know what Japanese curry is made from those pre-packaged blocks. Yeah, usually it's like roux blocks, R-O-U-X, I think. I honestly don't really know what's in what even is in Japanese curry. A bunch of spices. Yeah, roux. And they always associate it with Vermont. There's like a brand called Vermont curry. And when Japanese people think of Vermont, they usually think of curry. But then in the US, there's no such association. Well, what do you guys even think of when you think of Vermont? Like maple syrup? Is maple syrup like a thing people usually associate with Vermont? I think I remember seeing like a long time ago. You know those diagrams that are like, oh, we asked a bunch of people what food or what concept they associate with certain states. I think they asked that to people in Japan, and then everyone, like the Vermont thing was like curry. And we're just like, it's not even really a thing over there. Why do they even call it Vermont curry? It's like California rolls. It's got nothing to do with the location. Oh yeah, apple? Yeah, usually they'll have like apple. It is kind of sweet. I feel like Japanese curry, compared to other types of curry, is usually kind of sweet. Bechamel is a basic French sauce. Just roux and milk plus salt and pepper. I see. It's pretty cool. You got many different types of cuisine. It would be if Canada didn't exist. Maple syrup. Yeah. Vermont apples were brought over, and apple cider vinegar was advertised as a health benefit. Some people put apples into curry, advertise it as Vermont. So it's like, it's more about the apples than the actual curry. They just, by association, they became associated with curry. Let's look this up. We're on a stream where we can actually Google stuff. Vermont curry. Gives me the Amazon search result. Is Vermont curry? What does Vermont curry taste like? Apple and honey? That seems like too sweet for me. That's too much. Okay, there's an article. Why is Japan's most popular curry called Vermont curry? The Vermont designation has become such a brand, bespeaking a heightened degree of artisanship, quality, and care. Okay, what? Vermont's name is affixed to foodstuffs of dubious Vermontness. We got maple. There's a maple syrup brand called Vermont Made. Got Vermont curry. Actually, do people need rights to use the state name in their product? I feel like probably not, right? Anyone could just call something like California something. Everyone could just call it Vermont without being an issue. Okay, so Vermont House Vermont curry is less spicy. It makes it more suitable for children. So there's apple, there's honey, there's carrots. Also, yeah, carrots usually a thing. Vermont curry prepared with added peas, carrots. Fiddlehead. What is a fiddlehead? What the heck is a fiddlehead? I've never seen this. Wait, have you guys seen a fiddlehead? What the heck is this? Were you guys aware this was a thing? I've never seen this. This is literally what I asked. the title of this website. What the heck are fiddleheads? Pickled fiddleheads. People eat this? Can really taste the Vermont. So true. It's sweet, but it's not like dessert. We got Vermont is made. Yeah, Vermont made in Japan. Gonna head out. Hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day. Have a good rest of your day. Hope your electricity doesn't die again. Hopefully you have a good internet connection. Got Fiddleheads. Stardew Valley. Yo, Fiddleheads just like from Stardew Valley. Talked to a Canadian once who told me about these. Is it Chia VTuber? The one of several Canadians that I'm aware of. You got Northern Line, you got Chia, you got other Canadians. What is to you? Who is the most notable Canadian to you that you're aware of? It was in real life. All right. What if it was what if that Canadian was also a VTuber or a streamer? Anyway, what the heck is a fiddlehead? People eat this stuff. Fiddleheads are the furled fronds of a young fern. The frick is a furled frond? Left on the plant, each fiddlehead would unroll into a new frond. I feel like they're just making up words. A frond. What is a frond? A frond is a large divided leaf. I like how they give this diagram and it doesn't... Oh, the whole thing is a frond, I guess. This is a frond? The heck, this is too advanced. This is too advanced for me. Technically possible. Yeah, it could be. What if it was? Also, welcome Stanley. We got the Canadian Maple Winters. One of many maples. One of many Canadian VTubers known as Maple. Okay, well that's a frond. The fiddlehead. Culinary use. They had a whole statue of fiddlehead sculpture. Fiddleheads are used in Indonesia, in the Philippines, in Japan, in Korea, in China, and Taiwan. Why have I never heard of this? It's literally the first time I've ever seen this. Furled prawns is a pretty good tongue twister. Yeah, that was what I was thinking when I saw it. Is that another maple? That is a different maple. No, this is a different maple. We got this maple. We got the other maple. I think there's like another maple that plays Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess. I don't know if it's the same one as this one. It might be. Got several. There's so many of them. 4 or 5 of them. I think Chia mentioned in one of her streams that one of the possible names she was considering for her VTuber was also Maple. We would have had another Maple. So apparently there's a Fiddlehead Brewing Company in Shelburne, Vermont. They make this into like alcohol. They brew the Fiddleheads into alcohol. Or coffee. I guess when people mention brewing, usually think of alcohol, but I guess you could also brew coffee. I mean, what else do people brew besides alcohol, coffee? Is there like, you know, what is even brewable? Isn't there a sports team known as the Brewers? Oh yeah, you do brew tea and potions. Okay, there are many things you could brew. There's so many brewables. Homebrew isn't homebrew alcohol though. Also, welcome Potato. Trouble. Trouble is a brewer. I mean, homebrew. It's also a Mac OS software installation tool. Usually used on the command line. Brew. You can use the brew install. Homebrew means making your own TTRPG system. Okay, it depends on the context. I guess homebrew can also be like Nintendo when people mod their Nintendo DS. Yeah, also that. Basically just doing things on your own. There's many uses for brew. You could brew so many things. Also, welcome Tag Barrel. Oh yeah, that's what I meant. I just said that, right? Didn't I just say it? I said you got alcohol, IPA, you got beer. What about wine? People out there homebrewing wine? Probably. Anyway, I don't think any fish is gonna bite on this one. I feel like this is too fancy. This bait is too fancy for the fish. They're too used to seeing this low quality bait. When they see something like this, they're like, what the heck is that? I don't know. It's scary. It's so fancy. Also, welcome MM0. It's too much. 2 welcomes? Wait, when? When was that? Did I already welcome you? Let me find your last message. No, it was long enough ago that I already forgot. Okay, let's try catching fish on this side. You know, you think maybe the fish on this side will appreciate this bait a bit better? It's possible. It's definitely possible. He doesn't remember. Can't believe streamer does not even remember reading someone. It's called fishing, it ain't called catching. Well, the game is called Catch and Release. So, that's one of the things that you do in this game. Despite me calling it VR fishing, it's really VR catching and releasing. We just happen to be catching fish. You could also catch and release other animals. Technically home distillation. What the heck? Distilling versus brewing? I guess brewing, does that require like heating up something to the point where it bubbles up? Because usually when I think of brew, I think of like, you know, like a witch brewing something in a cauldron. I guess with wine, you're not really like heating it up. I mean, but for when people brew like alcohol, are they heating it up? Is that how this works? Does brew usually imply the existence of heat? look it up. I'm gonna look it up right now. The brewers. Okay, well, what is brewing? Brewing. And then the activity or business of producing beer. Okay. To prepare by steeping, boiling. Okay, boiling is part of it. Steeping, boiling, and fermentation. So it necessarily implies heating it up. Wait, but like brewing beer, does that require heating it up? I know when I visited a brewery, it was toasty in there. Okay, so possibly requires heating. If witches are anything to go on, I'd say so. They only brew over fires. Oh yeah, cold brew, also a thing, true, also. But it could be like a misnomer. They could have just called it that, but it's not actually brewing. Yeah, boiling malt tea and letting it ferment. The yeast needs heat. Fermentable starch source. Malted barley. Y'all, you were just talking about malt. Most beers fermented with a brewer's yeast and flavored with hops. Yo, Lily Hops, the VTuber. Hops. The flowers of the hop plant. I see, I understand. Got the malted barley. Yo, Germany reference. Hop cone. Yo, hop cone. Isn't that the Niji Sanji thing? Hop cone? Hop cone? Hop cone grown in a hop field in Germany. Let's see. Beer makings is pretty much making barley tea that you ferment. You could probably make the tea cold, but it wasn't. You kind of want it sterile, so there's only yeast bubbling in there instead of other bacteria. Oh, look, here it is. We got the heat exchanger. Okay, look, here's the process. I'm gonna explain the process to you. You got the hot water tank. Goes into what's called the mash tun. You got the malt. You got the copper. You got the hops. You send the copper into the hop back. You go into the heat exchanger and you add the yeast to the fermenter. It goes into the cask or keg. Got the bottles. And it's that simple. You got a section about mashing. Of course, obviously, you guys don't even know. Don't even know about the mash tun. Got the hop back. So true. You got boiling. Wow, this article is really long. Just a lot of words. Oh no, wait, a lot of holy frick. Like half of it is references. People say don't use Wikipedia, you gotta cite your real references. Well, look at all these real references. Like half the page is references. Okay, not half, maybe like 30% of it. Anyone ever had barley tea? Have I ever had barley tea? What's barley tea? It's barely tea. Oh, I guess it's like a common thing in Korea. It's Mugicha. Oh wait, I feel like I might have had this once. Possibly might have had this. Some barley tea ages ago. Beer brewing is science. That's a common thing. Yeah, it's like this. It's the barley tea. Yeah, Mugicha, that's what it's called. Mugicha. The barley tea. Charles Barley. You guys know the basketball player Charles Barley? Classic. One of the classic guys. Anyway, I'm gonna assume this fish is not working. No fish even wants this bait. It's too fancy for them. Can't believe this. For once I actually buy the like expensive bait. No one even wants it. Look at how pretty this thing is. You see this? And it's like a fish. The fish, they don't even want it. It's too good for them. Well, I'm gonna put this back here. I don't even have enough spots to put this on. I guess I could put this here. I put this next to the to the first fish I caught this year. Remember this fish, guys? Alright, we'll go back to the cheap bait. We got this garbage bait. They all love this garbage bait. Whoop. Anyway, I should probably go into nighttime mode. We're already past the halfway point. Gotta have the night mode for my eyes, to help my eyes, you know how it is. Ow. Yeah, just like me for real. Alright. Good old nighttime. Slightly raining. Got the clouds. It's a pretty cloudy night. Got the stars up there. Sweetness might come from the malting process. You want the sugar so that the yeast have something to eat. The yeast out there eating. It's been raining a lot here. I remember actually last time, man. I think it was on Saturday maybe, when it was raining here, and I was like, is it raining outside? And I looked it up, and then I think you said it's raining here too. And then maybe that was someone else, I don't know. It might have been you. And then I'm like, what the? It's raining there. That's like on the west coast. It's raining simultaneously in the east coast and west coast of the US. Obviously that means the rest of the country is also receiving rain. I'm here Saturday. Okay, maybe that was someone else. It's probably someone else. No, what if someone hacked into your account and left a message on the stream? It's entirely possible. Someone could have done it. Precipitation here is still snow. Wait, it's snowing there? It's already like August. It's like halfway through April. Ignore the fact that I almost said August there. It's basically, it's like halfway through April. It's still snowing? What the heck? It's fricked up. The weather is fricked up. Right, not right now, but when it does precipitate snow. Yeah, it's too much. If it ever snows past like mid-February, I'm just like, this is weird. This should not be happening. You think there's ever a situation where it's like snowing in June? In the northern hemisphere, I mean? Because I mean, in Australia, I'm sure it does snow in June, because that's their winter. They got everything flipped upside down over there. It can snow in June. I don't know if I've ever seen it snow that late. It snowed last week? What the heck? I guess it also depends like how elevated you are. Because I'm sure if you live on a mountain, it's probably snowing like constantly. Maybe not constantly, but like it's probably not that rare. Hail is also a thing, probably, possibly also true. Oh yeah, did I tell you guys there's like one of the times when I went to Japan, one of my friends who's from California, and like it doesn't snow over there, so so I think at one point during the trip there was hail falling from the sky, and she, who had never seen like really hail, she was like, "What's this? Is this ash? Is ash falling from the sky?" I'm like, "This is hail." She's like, "Oh shoot, never seen this." She thought it was ash falling from the sky, not ash from Pokemon. I'd be freaking out. He wouldn't even know. Let's see, it's not super common, but it can happen. Hail is also a thing, true. Yeah, I've seen hail. It's dangerous. Sometimes you get like chunks of hail that are huge. It could hit someone, it would be dangerous. Yeah, it is dangerous. But it was pretty small though. The hail was not that big. It was just fast. It just falls down fast. But since I haven't been outside very often, I have not seen hail in a long time. That might have been the last time I've seen hail. It's when I went to Japan, like, for my second time. Whoa, frick! Wait, are you guys seeing this? You guys see? We got the Aurora Borealis. This is such a rare event, guys. Guys, it's real. It's real. You're here experiencing an epic, rare event. We've only seen this twice before. I remember the first time I saw it. I remember it so well. I was like over there, and Kochitan raided us. I remember that so well. I was like, yo, welcome raiders. You're in for a special treat. We got the Aurora Borealis. Also welcome DFG G12. Fairer than the bear. Yeah, we've seen the bear so many times. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Okay, you guys, you've been here. You are here. Do I have moments enabled? If I had moments enabled, everyone here would get a moment. I don't think I have it enabled. Let's try it. Slash moment. I don't have moments. I can't believe this. He still would not give me moments. Twitch, this is fricked up. Okay, it's so nice. And we got the nice sounds of rain. We got the nice lights up there. It's great. Greatest moment. And it's, whoa, you guys ever see lightning and an aurora? Is that even possible? In real life, do you ever have like an aurora borealis and rain and lightning? What if we had this and then there was also like a meteor shower? We see that sometimes. That'd be so rare. It's so cool. Welcome we got numbers. Welcome numbers. Why not? I don't know. Cuz I feel like when it's raining, right? It would be really cloudy. The clouds might obscure the lights. Yeah, exactly, the cloud. Yeah, and a bear. What if the bear was sitting there looking at the aurora? We're witnessing history. So pretty. Actually, do you guys see it? Hold on, let me check. What if, okay, I'm gonna flip the boat around. The camera is that way. So I'm gonna turn so you guys can see it in both views. didn't I hear? What did I not hear? Oh, that's so loud. Yeah, there it is. Look at it. You can see it right there. Bear has been confirmed fake. No. Check the Twitter. Check the Catch and Release Twitter. Actually, okay. the fact that I turned around, it makes it harder for me to see it. Actually, what if I centered it this way? No, this is disorienting. Let's set it back. Man, this is so nice. It looks so good in VR. Like, I can see a bit of artifacting, but you know, imagine seeing this in real life. It's so pretty. Got lights. It's like a curtain. You guys ever seen a curtain? It's like this, except real. Man, that's great. This is great. This is what VR is for. Experiencing things that are hard to see in real life. Got the green, you got the purple, there's some blue up there. You got the colors. That's good stuff. Anyway, we're supposed to be fishing. Don't let the aurora distract you from the fishing. Don't forget, we gotta be fishing. Always be fishing. ABF, always be fishing. Oop. Must always fish. You gotta do it. Man, I don't know. I kind of miss like when I used to play this game off stream. I would just like watch a stream in the background, and I would just like stare up at the sky. It's good. This would be one of those moments. I would just be staring at the aurora, occasionally catching a fish, listening to a streamer in the background. That's the life. No commentary streams. Yeah, I used to do those on YouTube. Great times. Those were some times. I failed to catch the fish. Anyway, at the start of the stream, I was talking about how I ordered a phone case and a screen protector. And so that, along with the phone, should arrive tomorrow, but they're all in different packages, which is gonna make it a bit annoying. Right, you ever order something on Amazon and you're like, oh yeah, it's like two things, right? They're gonna put them in the same package? No, they're in a different package. And then the Google, the Pixel 7 phone is coming from Google, so that's its own package. And they always give you estimated times, and they're always like super vague. It's like arriving tomorrow by 10 p.m. And I'm like, that could mean anything. They could arrive at like 1 p.m. It could arrive at like 9:50 p.m. I don't know. It could arrive during my stream even. You know, what if they just left it outside while I was streaming? And then I didn't have the time to check, and then someone could steal it. I would be concerned. I would be like, oh yeah, can't wait to check it out outside, and then I go outside and it's not there. And sometimes they just deliver the mail to the wrong address. You guys ever have that happen? Sometimes they'll just deliver it somewhere else. There was like one time I got like a notification that they that they delivered a package, and then I go out, I look outside, is not there. And I'm like, what do they mean? Is it not here? And I think I checked again a few hours later and then it was there. So I think probably what happened was that they delivered it to the wrong address. And then the person at the other address who got it, they were like, huh, this should not be here. And then they brought it over. That's gotta be what happened. That has to be it. Let's see, bring back Hori Screen Protectors at game handheld launches arriving after me opening and playing the game handheld. Yeah, that's also what I was thinking of. Like sometimes I'll order like a device and then I order like the phone, sorry, the case and the screen protector. And I'm like, I sure wish the screen protector arrives before the actual device. Cause I would feel so uneasy about playing it. Or like using the phone or whatever before actually having the protector. But in this case, I don't really need to... Like, if the screen protector arrives after the phone, I could just hold off because, this time I don't actually need the phone. Right, last time when my phone died, I had to order a new phone. But this is just going to be my new backup phone. Yeah, the hero actually doing the proper job. Delivering the package. Oh, that's loud. So loud. Got the loud thunder. We got the loud aurora. Anyway, the stars up there look pretty nice. You got like the slight purple hue. And then there's like a lot of stars up there. It's great. And you got the fireflies. You guys seeing these fireflies? You would not believe your eyes. You got the aurora borealis. You got the clouds. You got the rain. You got the fireflies. That's great. Just me on a lake. The rectangle with the moon up there. Wouldn't it be cool if the moon was like over there? The aurora has always appeared like on this side. It never shows up over there. I think it's been hard coded to appear here. Get the Big Dipper, perhaps. You guys know constellations? Anyone out here know constellations? Is that one? What is that? Is that a constellation? Is that the Big Dipper? What is it? I don't even know. No? No one even knows. Also, welcome Effie. You guys don't even know stars. What about that? Is that the Big Dipper? Is that the Little Dipper? That looks like the Little Dipper, right? It's gotta be. I feel like it's moving really fast. It normally doesn't move that fast, right? Anyway, I should hydrate. It's been another hour. It's hydration time, as you know. Okay. Wanted the PSP Homestar Constellation app. The Constellate? Wait, what? It's that PSP Homestar Runner Constellation app / game. I remember Homestar Runner. One of the classic series of all time. Anyway, I'm gonna turn the boat back around. Because I like to be looking... You know, if I'm looking this way, I can only see part of it. I'd like to keep myself turned all the time. I'm turning this boat back around. Oh yeah, you guys know how, like, on boats they call it port and starboard, whatever. I never really knew why, but now I remember reading. I read something today even. It said usually on boats back in the day, most people were right-handed, right? And so they would row. The people would be on the right side of the boat. They'd be rowing, and then actually, I forgot why it's called starboard, but it has something to do with rowing. And then, so then the other side, left, was where you would usually dock the boat onto the pier. And that's the port side. So it's like the opposite of the rowing side. So that's how you remember. Most people right-handed. And so the other side is the port side. Now you know. Now you know. You can remember. The mnemonic. I forgot. We can look it up. There's a Sega thing. Homestar Runner Constellation? Oh, Homestar. Wait, is Homestar something else? Is Homestar a thing that isn't... Every time I see Homestar, I think of Homestar Runner. But I never considered that Homestar could actually be like a thing. Okay, let's look it up. Origin of port starboard. We'll look it up. We'll look it up. Okay, so for boats. Port starboard. They don't use left or right because it could be ambiguous. Okay, so port. The rowing. Which one was it? How to remember port and starboard. No. No, there's another one, okay. Origin of port and starboard. Right-handed. Okay, most sailors were right-handed, so the steering oar was placed over or through the right side of the stern. They started calling the right side the steering side, which became starboard somehow. Okay, it's a combination of two Old English words. Steer, meaning steer, and board, meaning the side of a boat. The steerboard. And then the port was the other side. So the port. Okay, it was not originally known as port. It was known as larboard. Instead of starboard, it was known as larboard for the loading side. But then it became confusing, so they started calling it port. Yeah, that's what it was. Now you know. I learned this today. I learned this, and now you know. Oop. Ow. Let's see, they also have light projector things that shine constellations on the ceiling. Yeah, that's a thing. Sometimes on YouTube, sorry, on Twitter, you'll see a trending post, and then the person who created the post will get sponsored to post like a reply tweet, and it's always like, check out this cool constellation light. You could point it at your ceiling, and then just you could it looks like stars. The PSP thing was before the iPhone came out. Hold on, I'm gonna look for Homestar. Instead of, like, not just Homestar Runner. Is Homestar its own thing? I only get results for Homestar Runner. What is a Homestar? No, this is something else. This is not it. I don't know if that was like a typo. Homestar is a rating system of people rating homes. Homestar Sega. Oops. Sega Toys Homestar. What the heck is this? Oh, it's like, okay, you pointed at your ceiling. And it projects stuff. Okay, so that's what this was. I thought Homestar was a thing. Also, welcome to Good Cat Gaming. I'll refer to them as Starboard and Larboard. Yeah. Refer to it as Larboard. Let's look it up. Larboard? Archaic term for port. Why was Larboard changed to port? Because it was confusing. Larboard sounds similar to Starboard. They changed it in 1844, literally 1844. Literally 1844. 1984. The PSP thing was something to take outside and use as a guide tool. Wait a second. PSP Homestar? Planetarium Creator. You would create a Homestar? 21st Century Star Navigator. Portable. Starport? The combination of port and star? Now, what the? You guys ever been on eBay recently? It's been such a long time since I've ever used eBay, but this site looking different. What are these sponsored posts? Pet Simulator X, 5 billion free gems. League of Legends account, North America. Unverified level 30 unranked. Perfect Smurf, 24/7 in-stand delivery. Safe, 60-day ban. 100% warranty. Let's see, making it for the PSP is a pretty cool idea, way more portable than trying to run a planetarium program on a laptop. True. Yeah, it was always cool. When I had a DS, it was pretty cool that the DS had a browser. You guys ever use that? It's like back in the day, you didn't have to, we didn't really have smartphones. And so if you could connect your DS to a browser or to Wi-Fi, you could use a browser. It was cool. To me, that was like such a revolutionary technology. Now we're also spoiled. Everyone has like a smartphone on them. You can access the internet whenever. But back then, that was so cool. It was cool things people make. Yeah, unrestricted access. You could be on your DS. Could be playing games. Let's see, when my phone broke, I used the browser to contact my friend before an outing, back like 8 years ago. Yeah, that's cool. I might have tweeted a few times from my Nintendo DS browser. Actually, even on the 3DS. Right, you guys remember on the 3DS, that had a browser too. But if you took screenshots on your device, to get them, like to post them online, you would need to take out your SD card, you would need to like copy the images over to your desktop, and then you could post them. There was like a website where you could just post directly from your 3DS. And I think I did that several times. It was like revolutionary. Not having to like remove an SD card. Also, like, so many computers don't even have an SD card reader anymore. Right? A lot of recent laptops, you gotta like buy an adapter, like a USB to SD card adapter. Same thing for CDs. Okay, so they're removing so much stuff from computers nowadays. See, on eBay a couple days ago, I was about to finally buy a new mixer power cable. I see the same plug and mixer for about 10 bucks extra. Oh, it's like a combined deal sort of thing. That always makes me think. Like when I was talking about buying my phone case and screen protector, often I see things that are like bundled together. It's like, check it out, you could buy this screen protector and a phone case for about the same amount. Actually cheaper. But then I think like, okay, maybe it's like worse quality. I don't know. I ended up buying them separately. Also, yeah, CDs, got them. I did, okay, I was also talking about signing up for a CD, you know, like the bank thing, certificate of deposit. I was thinking of doing it like after the stream that one time when I was talking about it, but the rate, so I use Citibank, and I think the rate at the time was like 4.3% on like a 9-month thing, and then I held off on doing it, and then I checked yesterday, it went up to like 4.7% or something. And I was like, what the? I just like wait a day and suddenly the rates go up significantly. And then so I did it. I opened, you know, I transferred some money into a CD. That's right, CD's money. CD's monies grow in the CD account. And then in 9 months I could say got them, because then I will have received the interest. The interest on the 9-month CD. It's basically free money. Just putting your money out there. So waiting several months. Suddenly, they give you like a bunch of money back. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, interesting. If you have money and you don't know what to do with it, consider looking into a CD. This is not a CD, this is not a D's Nuts joke. This is actual money advice. You could also invest it. You could look into investing. Or you could just do what I did. Anyway, wouldn't it be funny if, like, within the next 9 months, I find out that I actually need the money? Unlikely, extremely unlikely. I still have much money saved. But what if one day I'm just like, no, I need to buy a house. Immediately, in the next 9 months, I gotta buy a house. And then I'm just like, man, I wish I had that money. Not gonna happen. Jewel cases. Yeah, just buy a bunch of CDs. Put your money into the case. Just leave it under your couch or something. And then a year from now, you check it. Whoa, where did this money come from? How did this money even get here? You're telling me like the CD fairy? It's like the tooth fairy. Do you guys ever believe in the tooth fairy? I remember when I was a kid, I actually did used to think the tooth fairy was real. Like they would tell you about it in school. And then when my tooth fell out, I was like, yo, you can put this under my pillow. I can put this under my pillow. And I get money. And I told my parents, and then I put my tooth under my pillow. And when I woke up, I got like $1. And I was like, holy frick, it's real. But then the next time I lost a tooth, I didn't tell my parents about it, and I put my tooth under my pillow. When I woke up the next day, the tooth was still there. And I was like, what the heck is this? You're telling me that tooth fairy is not real? And then I sort of assumed that my parents were the one that put the money there. That's how I found out. That's how I knew. Also, sorry, anyone who believes in the Tooth Fairy. Unfortunately, not real. But Santa's real, though. Don't worry about it. Santa, definitely real. Santa would never lie to you. My parents did the same thing. How did you find it? How did you guys find out the Tooth Fairy wasn't real? Did you do the same thing? Did you, like, lose a tooth? Put under your put under your pillow? Not tell your parents? Find that the tooth was still there? That's how you learn. Stan is real. Stan from Eminem. The real Stan. Oh, Santa. That's what. Okay, Santa. I think my parents weren't very sneaky, so they didn't try very hard to keep with the charade. Did you see them, like when they thought you were sleeping? They tried to replace. I'm always surprised. How did they do that, right? You know, I think like I was sleeping. How did they manage to get take my tooth out from there and then like put the money under the pillow without waking me up? I don't even know. I don't think I believed in a Tooth Fairy. I just knew it was guaranteed cash. But how? Why not just cut out the middleman? Just tell your parents and then be like, hey parents, what if instead of me waiting for the Tooth Fairy, I just give you my tooth and then you just give me the money, and then if you put it under your pillow, you can get the money from the Tooth Fairy and it just pays off. You know? What if they believed you? They're like, son / daughter / non-binary child, that sounds like a great idea. I will take you up on that offer. And then they do it. And then what if they ended up making more money? Yeah, the Tooth Pyramid scheme. Be like, tell your parents like, hey, what if I give you my money? What if I give you my tooth? And then if you can get 3 other people to accept your offer, you can make, you could make thousands. But it also kind of weird, right? What the heck are the Tooth Fairies doing with a tooth? What can they even do? They're just out here harvesting teeth from children? Like, what do they do with it? Are they, like, making stuff with it? Are they, like, grinding it up? Are they making weapons? Are they, like, fighting a war, perhaps? You know, they need the teeth. Are teeth, are they the currency? Or weapons for war? Never even know. I'm gonna look this up. What do the Tooth Fairies even do with the teeth? We gotta know. This is a questline in RuneScape. This is a real thing. What do Tooth Fairies do with teeth? She makes magical fairy dust out of them. Is that real? Is this real? 10 facts about the Tooth Fairy. Let's read these facts. Okay, let's see. 10 years. 10 facts. She's not always a fairy. Worldwide, the Tooth Fairy varies in appearance. In places like France, Belgium, and many Spanish-speaking countries, the Tooth Fairy is a friendly, furry mouse. Is this true? Do we have any, any France, Belgium, and Spanish-speaking country people here? Is your Tooth Fairy a furry mouse? The first known mention of the Tooth Fairy was the Chicago Daily Tribune, 1908. Back in 2004, the golden rate for a tooth was about 178. Nowadays, a tooth is worth, on average, $4.66. At a Tooth Fairy museum, she collects a lot of teeth. 300,000 teeth from children every night. Yeah, that's a tooth kanji. She would collect your teeth. What if they collect live teeth? Okay, what does she do with these teeth? It is believed that the Tooth Fairy uses these teeth to build the fairy community. Other times she'll make jewelry for herself. How she sneaks under the pillow is still a mystery. She visits each child around 20 times. Children have 20 baby teeth that will fall out over the span of a few years. Okay. Interesting. Interesting facts about the fairy. How does the Tooth Fairy turn teeth into money? She can magically transform any legendary, any stardust she collects into gold dust. She can exchange it at the fairy bank. I don't know if I believe this. Well, that's cool. Cool facts. Cool facts about the Tooth Fairy. All of these articles that I'm reading are like implying that there's only one Tooth Fairy. I always imagined it was like several. It's like, you know, the Tooth Fairy is like one of many. All these articles say she specifically, like there's just one. It's not like Santa where there's only one, but like, you know, I always thought there was multiple. It's only, I guess there is only one. If she's even real at all, we don't even know. It's not like it's the Tooth Fairy, not a Tooth Fairy. Anyway, imagine being a fairy collecting money. Maybe it's a hive mind. Oh yeah, maybe it's like a bunch of them, but then they all share the same brain. It's like, you know that one forest where apparently all the trees are connected underground? So it's really just one big living organism. There's this one tree that is an entire forest. Isn't that cool? Like, imagine if all these trees were connected. Like, the roots were all connected. It was like one big tree. Dental daimyo? What does that mean? I'm aware of that word, but I never remember what it means. It's like is it like a samurai? Is it a word that was used in the samurai days? Daimyo. But yeah, that's the Tooth Fairy. Well, if he's not familiar with Sengoku Jidai, yeah, it's true. It's true, I'm not. Feudal Japan. One of the great lords who were vassals of the shogun. You know how some people say shogun? They pronounce the word gun as if it was in English. I used to do that, and then I heard it pronounced shogun, and I was like, that actually makes sense. That is how you would pronounce it in Japanese. You're not showing someone a gun. Yeah, there it is, there's shogun. But it's not. Yeah, exactly, right? It's a Japanese word. It's pronounced like as if it was in Japanese. It's not gun. They don't say shogun. It's like how people say four-koma. But then when you think about it, it's like yonkoma. For 4-panel comics, they don't say four-koma, but everyone says it. They're like, they see the 4 and they see this 4-koma. No, I think it's yon. It's yonkoma. I'm sure there's like a lot of other words that are like that. Other words that people pronounce as if they were English. Oh yeah, like bonsai trees, right? It's bonsai, but people say bonsai. First time I heard someone pronounce it bonsai, I was like, actually, that also makes sense. It does make sense. Yeah, bonsai. Bonsai. Actually, I think the first time I heard it pronounced that way, it was like when I was watching anime. It might have been, what was that show called? Not Gochi Usa, but the other one. Kiniro Mosaic. I think one of the characters said bonsai, and I was like, what the? Really changed my life. Made me realize pronunciation of words in the original language. How many guns could a shogun gun if they could gun guns? Several. Thousands, maybe millions. Depends on how it's shown. Anyway, we got some gun emotes. What gun emote do I have? Let's do an emote check. We haven't done this in a while. Here's my emotes. Got my emotes. Got Northern Lions emotes. My HC Justin's emotes. Got Choco Jack's emotes. We got Chana emotes. Got Skeleton emotes. We got Hamflow emotes. Got Arky the Bear emotes. We got Vera's emotes. Clavio. Overwatch League. We got Moonybug. Got Overwatch. We got Razul. Soya Poya. Karagi channel. We got Corpse channel. We got Minka Stella. Snacko Racko. Chia VTuber. And that's all of them. That's all of them. What's this one? That's my Q1. I know who that is. Pokemans? What is that? Yeah, I have not seen these. Yo, they get Advice Dog. I remember that. Classic, one of the classic internet memes. Back in the day, Advice Dog. That's pretty cool. Well, those are my emotes. Most of these are gifted. In fact, almost all of them are gifted. Great times. Great times. We got the pizza. This pizza right there. We got the slime. Yo, slime molder. Actually, I didn't know. Okay, I got recommended a video, I think yesterday, of slime mold on YouTube. I didn't know what that was. It's like a thing that grows on trees. I saw that and I was like, yo, this is slime molder. Slime molder is in my recommendations. I watched the video. It's slime. It's a mold. Yeah, when I saw this, I thought it was Komodo hype. I thought it was this. I thought it was this. Yeah, slime mold. You guys ever seen slime mold? I didn't know that was a thing until yesterday. It's a thing that grows on plants. It's like it grows on trees. Looks pretty cool. It was like an educational video. What are those like nature documentaries? There was like a British guy, possibly British, I don't know, he was narrating it. And everyone in the comments was like, thanks for uploading this, you saved my life. Thanks, this is so educational. We're showing this to the people in class. And everything. Slime molds can move and have memory, it's cool. Yeah, they seem pretty cool. The yellow stuff that's like a single organism or something? Yeah, probably something like that. What do you think my name was if I didn't know what a slime mold was? I don't know. That's why every time I'm just like, are you the one molding the slimes? What is your favorite slime? And then I'm like, I don't even know what that means. I thought it was like, you know, a person that molded the slimes. like you got like Dragon Quest slime, which was like molding it. You know, like a metal mold. You know, people, they have molds like for 3D printing and stuff like that. You know, what about that? You have a thing that's shaped like a slime. You put the slime gel in it, and now the slime has been molded. Or like a person that is doing the molding. Or it could be like, you know, a mold, like a mold like on a bread. The mold that grows on bread. But instead of growing the mold, it's a slime. Anyway, but now I know. Now I know what a slime mold is. Because, like, whenever I think of slimes, I just think of, like, video games, you know? Dragon Quest slime, we got the enemies from video games. But, like, slimes, they're real. They exist for real on trees and stuff like that. It'd be a fun job. Would it, though? Because, like, the slime is alive. I guess that, yeah, it is alive. It would be kind of weird, wouldn't it? Maybe not that weird. I don't know. Dude, that is one of the jobs you could have. Yo, you guys hear the wolf? There's like a wolf in the background. You think the wolf is looking at the aurora? You ever think like animals appreciate the aurora as much as humans do? Or do you think they see it often enough that they're just like, what the heck is that? That's cool. Right, people like me, you look up at the lights, you think there's like a deer out there seeing the aurora for the first time? There's gotta be, right? They gotta appreciate it. You got like a rabbit just jumping around, it looks up at the sky. It's like, wow, we got these lights. Or like a bird flying around. Our bird going through like a migration, seeing the seeing the aurora for the first time. It's alive and giving us hug. The slimes? The slimes who are molding? Good times. Great times on this lake. One of the rare moments. One of 3 times when we've seen this. I feel like I might have seen the aurora in this game more than 3 times. But this is the 3rd time I've seen it while streaming. You know, I might have, when I was playing this game off stream, I might have seen this at least once or twice. It's pretty rare, right? When you think about it, I've been streaming this game for like over a year. The fact that we've only seen this on stream 3 times makes me think like, what? Maybe there's like some other super rare thing we haven't seen. Like, remember that one time when I saw like the Loch Ness Monster over there? And I've only seen that once. The entire like year plus that I've been streaming this game, I've seen the Loch Ness Monster once. Just once. I've seen the bear many times. I've seen a wolf. I've seen the moose. But there are things even in this game that we only see like once or twice. And what if they drop like a new update one day? I would be so pumped. I feel like I'd be like one of the only people so excited if they were to add an update to this game. You know, if they added a sunset mode, if they had like a sunrise mode, the sky turn orange, that'd be so cool. That'd be great. Is it moddable? I don't know. I haven't seen anyone talk about it. I would assume probably not. I mean, like, this game is not actually it's not actually that popular. I mean, I'm sure it's not unpopular, but when people think of VR games, it's usually like VR chat. Got Beat Saber. But for me, it's gotta be this one. Gotta be Quantum Release. Best game of all time. Doesn't that opening in the clouds kind of looks like a slime? Right there, there it is. Yeah, no, it's so true. I'm sitting down, by the way. If it looks like I'm clipping through the boat, it's because I'm sitting. Just looking up, just looking at the clouds, listening to that rain. We got the purple up there with the green, that lightning. Good times. I see like a floating battery pack thing. I had to recharge the batteries on my controller like last week. It's actually the the analog clock that I have in my house. The battery's not working. And then I was like, it's finally time to recharge these batteries. And then I was like, you know, I might as well also recharge the batteries on my controller. Because every few months you gotta do it. But I am always surprised at how efficient it is that these batteries are on this controller. Like when I think about how much data it's sending, you know, like every single movement, it's always sending, you know, the position and all this. And it takes like a really long time for these batteries to require recharging. Maybe like once every 3 months. It's amazing. Technology is amazing. Sending data wirelessly at least 60 times a second. Repeatedly. It's great. Good times. Good times looking at technology. Well, anyway, I guess that's probably gonna be it for today. I got nothing else to talk about. So let's see what day today is. We'll send a raid. We'll do exclamation mark today. Alright, let's see. Yo, it's National Garlic Day. Dutch-American Friendship Day. Humorous Day, John Parker Day. National Cat Lady Day. Yo, it's National Banana Day. National Dog Parent Appreciation Day. National Hanging Out Day. National Poker Day. Rice Ball Day. Sylvester the Cat's birthday. And then a bunch of people's birthdays. Let's do... Which one? Cat ladies. What about... National Cat Lady Day? What about that one? Let's do that one. Or banana. We could do National Banana Day. I have no preference. Garlic Day also pretty good. I don't know. You decide. Let's do National Banana. National Banana Day. Hey, we drew banana yesterday. Yesterday when I was doing the Passepartout stream, Moonybug requested banana. Like the monkey and the banana. I drew that. Okay, let's see who to raid. You got Choco Jack, she's playing the Minish Cap. We got Handflow streaming the Legend of Zelda. He's playing the Wind Waker, let's go. But I will raid someone. Oh, Jerma streaming? You guys see Jerma streaming? He's playing Orcs Must Die 3. People streaming things, many people streaming various things. Okay, who do I want to raid? I don't know. Oh, that's right. National Banana Day raid. Let's raid. What's V Templar up to? Assassin's Creed Origin? Sure, why not? We'll send that raid. This channel intended for mature audiences, by the way. If you are not mature, then feel free to leave. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for sticking around. Hope everyone enjoyed the rare Aurora Borealis. We've never seen it have an aurora and also rain and thunder at the same time, so this is so once in a lifetime thing. We'll never see this ever again. That's probably not true. Have a good Wednesday or Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Tell my grandchildren this story. You should. You should be like, one day I was watching Rolfie. He was on the lake. There was an aurora. You got lightning. You got rain. There's those clouds. Yep. Anyway, tomorrow Dark Souls. Be there or not. You don't have to be there. I'll be playing Dark Souls though. Dark Souls 2. And that's it. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I'm just gonna keep talking. Raid's gonna go. Okay, thanks for watching. Goodbye.